The 2015 HotelPlanner.com PGA EuroPro Tour is reaching its climax, and the race to Desert Springs is on. Hello and welcome to the northeast of England for the next edition of the EuroPro Tour. We're here at the magnificent and slightly damp Slaley Hall for event 12. It's played host to a number of European Tour events, the likes of Madonna and Michael Jackson, and this week it's home to one of Europe's leading developmental tours. We've got a packed show for you. Here's what's coming up in the next couple of hours. We've got action from the final 2 rounds on the Priestman course here at Slaley Hall. He's been around a long time, but Warren Bennett tells us how he's reinvented himself.
I kind of had a light bulb moment last October.
John E. Morgan gives us the lowdown on this week's course.
Well, that'd teach me, wouldn't it? Driver off the tee, definitely the wrong club. 3 wood needed, not to be.
And we keep building our ultimate EuroPro Tour fantasy golf course. Well, all that's still to come, but first I'm joined by Barry Gill from Break90. Barry, thank you for joining me. First of all, I just want to talk about the relationship that you have with the EuroPro Tour, your company, Break90. You're avid supporters. What keeps you coming back every year?
Yeah, well, Break90 is a new business. It's set up 2 years ago, and it's good to help or support the up-and-coming golfers the way that we're an up-and-coming business. Hopefully we'll be a top business at some point in the future. And along with these golfers, hopefully they're going to be the top golfers of the future as well.
How important do you think it is for this region in particular to hold events like this?
Yeah, it's great to showcase the northeast, especially Northumberland. Northumberland's a lovely place, especially if you get the weather, which obviously unfortunately you haven't today. But yeah, it's a lovely part of the world which people need to get to know. I know you're a close house next week as well.
Yeah, 20 minutes down the road.
Which showcases some more beautiful areas in the Northumberland area.
Brilliant. Barry, it was lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for your continued support.
You're welcome.
And it's time now for us to pass over to our resident pro, John E. Morgan, who walked the course here in much better conditions.
Well, thank you, Laura. Here at the Priestman, what a golf course, just shy of 7,000 yards. Par 72 to boot as well, and just over my right shoulder, you can see water, big slopey fairways, thick rough, trees everywhere, and the greens are pretty big and slopey to boot. Now, the boys, with conditions like this, I think they're going to go low. 10 under plus, guaranteed.
Thank you, John. Well, the weather might be a little bit damp today, but for round 2 we had glorious conditions. So we'll pass you over to Simon Golding now, who has a roundup of all the action.
Thanks, Laura. Well, just before we get to that action, a reminder of what a fabulous part of the world this is, the northeast coast of England. Full of history, and when it's lovely weather like this, it really is beautiful. Now then, out to the course, and James Ablett was one of the early starters in round 2, out at 7:30 a.m. He looked to capitalise on a first round of 68. Well, there was no need for that slap across the face for the man from the Solent. He had an unblemished card in round 2. And his chip on the par 5 16th would lead to his 4th birdie of the day. He did, however, put himself in some trouble coming up the last when he hit a tree overhanging the 18th green. And a duff chip would leave him with a tricky 25-foot putt for par. Not a problem though, as the winner of 7 professional titles in 2015 set the clubhouse target at 8 under. Now, Warren Bennett has been there, seen it, and got the T-shirt. A winner on the European Tour. He's been blighted with injury over the last few years, but he's now running into some fantastic form. That eagle at the 16th would take him to 7 under. The only blemish on his card coming at the 17th. He nearly got the shot back at the 18th, but had to settle for a round of 6 under and a share of the lead with Ablett, 8 under the card. By his own admission, Conor O'Neill has had a torrid 2015, but at Slaley something clicked. A 68 in round 1 saw a run of 5 birdies in the last 7 holes. In round 2 he was out in 32, and if that chip had dropped at the 10th it could have been even sweeter. He couldn't convert the birdie chance, but he did pick up shots at the 11th and 13th to lead the tournament at 10 under. Players have been birdieing the 16th for fun, but O'Neill saw another opportunity slip by. Having led by 2, he had a finish to forget, bogeying holes 17 and 18 to finish at 8 under. When you open with a double bogey on your second hole of the day, you really have to concentrate the mind. That's just what Jamie Elson did. He hit back with 4 birdies on his front 9, and the back 9 would get even better. A hole-in-one at the 11th was followed by a birdie at 12, and this eagle at the 16th would see him go to 10 under.
Yeah, well done, mate. Thank you.
But like O'Neill, he struggled on his final 2 holes. A wayward drive at 17 put him under pressure. But he was more than up to the task with a superb par save. He wasn't so lucky on 18 though, finishing like he started with a double bogey, putting him at 8 under. Eight under seemed to be the score of the day. Jonathan Caldwell followed his bogey-free opening round 67 with a 69. In a round that included 3 bogeys, he too could have gone double figures under the card into the final round. He would be one of 6 players that would go into that last round at 8 under. But they all would be chasing 3 players, one of which would be Billy Hemstock, Caldwell's playing partner for the opening 2 rounds. Looking for his first victory since Morallerton in 2014, he opened with a round of 71 that included 1 double and 1 triple bogey. That was followed, though, by a superb 64. That came courtesy of 4 birdies in his closing 5 holes, including a rare one at the 18th. 9 under was now the mark to follow. And Jamie Rutherford did just that. The Nebworth golfer followed his opening round bogey-free 67 with a 68, courtesy of birdies at 3, 4, 7, 8, 11 and 16. A great approach to the 18th gave him the opportunity to take the outright lead at 10 under. He couldn't convert the chance though, and would join Hemstock at 9 under. Joining them on that score would be Army Golf Club's Sam Robertshaw, playing in the final group of the day. He played the back 9 first in 2 over par. He came home in 30 to add a 68 to his opening round 67 and make it a 3-way tie at the top. With 46 players making the cut, only 7 shots separated the whole field. Hemstock 64, the pick of the 2 rounds. Out of the top 10, only 2 rounds, not sub 70, showing that there is a score to be had.
So it's all to play for heading into the final round. Will Billy Hemstock, Jamie Rutherford or Sam Robertshaw hold on for victory, or will it be one of the chasing pack just 1 shot behind? Join us after the break to find out. Welcome back to Slaley Hall. It's tight at the top of our leaderboard, and it's time now to catch up with some of the final round's leading contenders.
The joke goes that everybody from Scotland knows exactly what playing like this is like. I think you just got to try and be as positive as you can and not complain, because as soon as you sort of get on your own back, that's going to be a big problem, you know.
I think you just grind, really. I think we had it pretty simple the last couple of days. Yeah, you do have to change your mindset. The rough, you've got to try and keep it out of the rough. The rough's going to be really thick. It was thick yesterday, it's going to be even thicker today with it being wet.
My coach messaged me this morning, just said keep doing what you're doing. Obviously in these conditions it's going to be tough, you know, pars are good scores. So yeah, I've just focused mainly on just getting the tee shots away, giving myself good shots into the green, you know, a good chance to make a par, or, you know, if I'm lucky, a birdie. And I thought, you know, par score today would be a good number.
In the past, I've always played pretty well in the rain and the wind as well, so I suppose it's always a good thing for me. I know that I've played pretty well before in it, but yeah, I think you can't do anything about it, can you? It's the same for everyone, so you've just got to deal with it as you can. Just play golf, really.
So this is how it stands after 2 rounds. Rutherford, Hemstock and Robert Shaw all at 9 under par. With 6 players all at 8 under par, the field is very bunched and the quality has been outstanding over the first 2 rounds, with only 7 shots separating all 48 players that made the cut. So we're all set for a thrilling final round. Let's get you straight into the action with our commentary team, Scott Drummond, Gary Alice, but first, Simon Golding.
Thanks, Laura. Oh my goodness, it is absolutely teeming down on the northeast coast, as you've probably worked out. And Gary Alice, how much longer can we continue in these weather conditions?
Not for very long, I suspect, Simon. It really is pouring down. Greens are beginning to hold water. PGA team running this event will be talking to each other on the radio. They're going to be making a decision pretty soon.
Well, the players seem in good spirits out there, and there's certainly a chance for someone today. O'Neill then with his 3rd into the 2nd. And Scott Drummond, as we watch this one, oh, it's going to go in, is it? Yes, it is. As we watch that one drop, I guess there is a chance for somebody. How would you be feeling right now?
Well, I think Connor summed it up right at the start there. He said, you know, you just got to not get on your own back. You just got to get out there and deal with it. And like you say, there's an opportunity for someone because the field is so bunched.
Well, Bennett swinging the club beautifully, as he always has done. He's another man that you would certainly fancy to be able to deal with these conditions. Oh dear, well, Robert Shaw back on the first tee. You can only just see him in the murk.
Yeah, it is. It's really getting gloomy out there. Interesting, this is where management is there, perhaps wearing a pair of the wet weather gloves, as we saw Warren Bennett there to help with the grip.
Now, Robert Shaw, confident young man, as you saw in his interview. Certainly heading into this final round, seemingly without a nerve or a care in the world. And got that away nicely.
Spectators are always very brave. It's always a bit quiet, though, because it's quite difficult clapping when you're holding an umbrella.
Now then, Rutherford, another man in a position to record something pretty special in this final round. His best result so far, tied 8th at Royal Burgess in the Simpson and Marwick last season. That's his best EuroPro result. And somebody with a chance to kick on today. What do you think of this swing, Scott?
Yeah, it's very solid setup. It's all about tempo today when the weather's like this. You've got all your wet weather gear on. Really, it's about finding fairways and greens and keeping that rhythm, not getting too quick. And there's some puddles we can see now forming in the bunkers. Proper hazards today they're going to be.
That's really where it calls the decision, because if you can't drop in the bunker, then, you know, it's a penalty to drop outside, and that really will mean that the course closes.
Now, Hemstock, 71 on the first day, but then we saw a bit of Billy Hemstock magic. Just a reminder of how good this man can be on day 2. A 64 and 8 under, and he really is a quality player.
Yeah, he is, no question. A few wins here on the EuroPro. He'll be feeling confident about today, going out in the last group, I'm sure. And I think he's had some playoff victories as well.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed for everybody. Finley moved himself to 5 under. Oh, what a putt.
No sign of the water on the surface there. That rolled beautifully.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Scott. It really did roll well. There was no spray off the ball.
Now, out of this first or second cut here for Robert Shaw. That's not great, is it, with the water around on the club face, between the club face and the ball?
No, it makes the control that much harder, but he's done well there. That's a very good shot.
Hemstock with his second. From there, it's so much easier if the ball's on the short grass. Get a better contact.
Nice rhythm there in that swing. That is a serious puddle already there on the first.
Oh, Hemstock on the dance floor, keeping the clubs dry. Yeah, he is the most experienced man, I think, in terms of chasing this title on the final day. Warren Bennett. Good to see him in action. He's played sporadically on the EuroPro over the last few years, but always good to see him in action. And a little bit of backspin to go with that. Well done, Warren. Well, we've already talked plenty about Warren Bennett so far today. Let's hear from the man himself. John Morgan caught up with him in much better weather conditions earlier in the tournament.
Flusher. Warren Bennett in the house. How you doing, bud?
Nice to see you, John.
All right, man?
Yeah,
So
good.
what have you been working on then? Looking pretty good because you're 8 under par after 2 rounds.
Yeah, you've got to get lucky a couple of times. No, I
Well,
played
you are.
okay. Played pretty solid.
You know, when it comes to coming back here on the EuroPro, I mean, what's it like for you, you know, to get the bats back out and give it a ride again?
I think any competitive golf is good. I think, yeah, looking back, I've got the experience. I've been a pro for 20 odd years now. And yeah, I've got the experience to play out onto the main tour, but any competitive golf is good, and especially if you're playing well.
Yeah.
And this year, without getting any results, I'm playing pretty steady.
I mean, what have you been doing in your spare time away from golf?
I've been trying to get back. I've still the same old story with the injuries.
Yeah.
But I kind of had a light bulb moment last October.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into too much detail.
Yeah.
Every time I've practiced before in the past, I used to break down, my back was gone, my neck went.
Yeah.
Light bulb moment in October. And it was like, oh, wonder if that happens. And I tried it and my back didn't hurt. So I tried it the next day, my back didn't hurt. And here we are like 9 months later. So it's good. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm able to play and practice as much as I like now.
This
you know, when you
is
can't
frustrating.
practice when you like, and it just gets frustrating and you start hating the game. And I've hated it many a time. I've stopped, I did some caddying.
Yeah.
And caddied out on the main tour, caddied on the ladies tour, which was great, but it was never the same as being able to play.
What was it, the main fun, you know, big change that you made to yourself then to stop all these injuries from constantly happening?
Yeah, without getting too much into it,
Yeah.
I was always a flicker, maybe a little bit too right-sided, and flicked it with my hands too much,
So you had
relied on
the
too
right
much
to left
timing.
there.
Yeah, and now everything's left to right, as you can see.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is left to right.
Yeah.
So that's what I've basically changed from more of a kind of lateral, more of the woods type of look,
Yeah.
quite shut.
Yeah.
Now I'm very rotary.
Yeah.
And it stops the club face turning over. So, then that helps the spine. Pretty neutral.
Well, Warren, what can I say, man? Apart from
Yeah, it's
have a
good to
great
see you
week.
again.
And it's nice to see you, mate. It
Thanks.
really is.
Thanks, John.
Nice to see an old friendly face.
You too.
Not too old, though. Well done,
Thanks,
bud.
mate.
Yeah, great to hear from Warren, and great to see that he's back and playing without too much pain. That's good stuff. Now, back out to the course. We're trying to be positive here, but Scott, I think this is going to get called soon, isn't it?
It's certainly looking that way, and I think a lot of the players in their own minds probably know that is going to be the case, but you've got to get out there and give it your best shot for as long as you're out there. I mean, in some ways it's a difficult mindset, but in other ways, you know, guys are used to this, and you deal with what's put in front of you. Like I say, a lot of the guys will know that with the way the forecast is, it's unlikely they're going to get finished today.
Yes, even if they sit around for a few hours, I think we may have to find another way of closing this tournament out. Now, Fenwick, the Scotsman, one behind the leader. He's played some good golf so far this season. Another player that we've tipped for results at some point. And solid golf again, but it seems like it's a matter of time, Gary. Oh dear.
Yes, here we can see the squeegees, which are definitely help, but it's all very time consuming as well, this, as they brush the water away.
And I think the difficulty is when there's not a decent break in the forecast to let the greens dry out. That's, you know, that's the issue.
Now, Jamie Elson hasn't played on the EuroPro since 2009. But another very solid competitor. Played a lot of his junior golf at Burr Hill, one of our EuroPro venues.
Excuse me.
Yeah, calling in for reinforcements, I think, Elson, at that green, and he's not going to be the only one.
there's going to be a lot of it, and as we keep saying, they just got to deal with it for as long as they're out there.
So no birdie for Robert Shaw, which means he'll remain on 9 under if he pops that one in. And I guess now we have to start thinking about the rules side of things, Gary. And if they call it at this point and we can't finish in normal regulation play, what do we go to?
Well, if they can't get any more play, then the tournament will be, a result will be called at the scores at the end of the second round.
Which means we have 3 men on 9 under. Jamie Rutherford, Billy Hempstock and Sam Robertshaw. And I wonder how much will be going through their minds in terms of thinking about a playoff right now. Hempstock, though, with a putt to think about. That was a good effort from Billy.
Yeah, not easy to putt when there's surface water, even when it's been squeegeed.
Yeah, this is looking unplayable. I'll spare a thought for the officials out there today.
Yeah, hard work.
Yeah, it is, and they'll want to be all in agreement on what to do.
Oh, and spare a thought for this man. Oh dear, Conor O'Neill playing some great golf, but it looks like it might be for nothing on this final day. He will miss out on a playoff if that's what we go to by a single shot.
I think at this early stage, though, you know, these guys would just be sitting in the clubhouse, hoping, watching the weather forecast, looking for a break in the weather. I'm sure that they'll be expecting to get back out there.
Yeah, Fenwick trails by a single shot, so just needs to find his par and does so comfortably. Still a little bit of business on the first green to be taken care of with Billy Hempstock. You saw how much that ball moved as it went past the hole, so this coming back up the slope. Well done, Billy. But there is a feeling of inevitability at the moment. This rain is unrelenting.
There you can hear the referee, one of our lady referees, Nicola Melville, about to call suspension of play.
So this, at the moment, will be the last of the action, I'm afraid, as the boys just clear things up at the first. And our group of 3 leaders on 9 under, only managing to play a single hole before they are called in by the Hooters. So mark your balls, gentlemen, and get back to the warm and dry of the clubhouse for what could be a quite long and protracted wait.
Yeah, it's certainly looking that way, and they'll be taking every notice of the weather forecast and hoping for a break.
Well, some players still with a skip in their step as they head back to the clubhouse, but it does not look good here at the Break90 Championship. At the moment, we've got 4 men on 9 under. Conor O'Neill playing some really good golf. What a boost to his season, but it all might be for nothing because Robert Shaw, Rutherford and Hempstock would be the only players that count in terms of their 9 under if we go to a playoff.
I suspect we probably won't get back out because the forecast is that bad, and if we do, it will be 6-7 hours time, so it's more what do you do now. You're not used to hanging about inside for that length of time, but it is what it is.
The forecast isn't great. I just looked at it about 20 minutes ago and it's heavy rain till 5 o'clock, so the way the greens are looking now, as you can tell, very saturated. I'm not sure. Right now I'll just chill out, get my things dry and then go out to the range when I have to go out to the range. So.
Well, rain, rain and more rain. Fair play to the officials. They gave it every opportunity on this final day. But in the end, they had to call it after 2 rounds as a result. And the rest of the players not involved in that group at 9 under were able to leave the course and head home, which means that we are heading for a playoff here at Slaley Hall. So plenty of drama still to come then to finish this tournament off as we head to the 15th, where Robert Shaw, Rutherford and Hempstock will go head-to-head for the Break90 Championship title after the break. So a bit of business to take care of before the playoffs. Sam Connor, our winner at the Carrick last week, is going to add to the fantasy golf course.
Hi, I'm Sam Connor, winner of the Cobra Female Open at the Carrick. My fantasy hole is the 14th. It's a beautiful par 3, plays about 25 yards downhill with amazing views over Loch Lomond. It's a hole that would fit into any golf course. It's really beautiful and fun to play.
Welcome back. We're heading into a three-way playoff with Billy Hemstock, Jamie Rutherford and Sam Robertshaw, all on hole 15 until we reach a conclusion. It's time now to hand over to your commentary team, Gary Alice, Scott Drummond, but first, Simon Golding.
Thank you, Laura. And in we go with playoff hole 1 at the 15th. And first of all, the players draw lots under the supervision of referee Nicola Melville. And this is what they got ahead of them, a par 3 for a playoff.
Yeah, I think it's great. Don't see too many playoffs on a par 3, but I think you've got much more chance of getting a result. And obviously, if you draw first and you knock it in there close, big advantage to you.
And Gary, we go and go until we got a result.
Yeah, we do, and it suddenly becomes match play. So as Scott says, if you can get your blow in first, put one in there close, put some pressure on the other players.
First punch, so to speak, then, to this young man. Jamie Rutherford, the Englishman from Nebworth Golf Club, 67 and 68 to put him in this playoff, and he won't be happy with that.
So Robertshaw with his go. Quick rhythm there, flashing the club through. Yeah, on the dance floor.
Yeah, safely on after seeing the first ball not on the green. Slightly easier for him, but like you say, rhythm a little bit quick there, maybe just a little bit of nerves and a bit of adrenaline there. I think he's probably got an extra 5 yards out of that. Just knocked it past the flag there, Gary.
It is, you're waiting, they've been waiting a long time, the excitement of a playoff.
Now Hemstock, the man from Taymouth. And talking of playoffs, Billy has got a bit of previous. He's actually won a couple of EuroPro Tour events in playoff conditions, and that suggests that he's feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah, you could see him eyeing that one down the flag. He knew it was good.
Billy Hemstock has got a very neat swing, don't you think, Scott? It's just up and down the line.
Yeah, very compact, very neat, like you say, and kept his rhythm nicely there, considering these boys have had such a long wait for this playoff.
Yes, playoff wins at Moralton and Conqueror Wood to his name on the EuroPro Tour, and looking favourite here at the moment. Now Rutherford, can he at least get a bit of pressure on the other two?
Cool, what a horrible Lamonji type lie that was in that. That was a very good shot from that horrible wet sand.
Yeah, so difficult to judge. Just got to pick your shot and be confident with it, which he was.
Yeah, I think he liked it, but he may not have a further say in this one. Robertshaw then with an opportunity here to pressure Hemstock's putt. Down the slope now, he's got the pace very, very well. Oh my goodness me, well that was nearly drama on the first time round.
Incredible, absolutely incredible that that ball has not dropped at that pace. And you can see he'd have bet his life it was going in.
What a great reaction from birdie delight to par realisation, and Hemstock now with a putt to win the tournament at the first time of asking.
This is pretty much straight up the hilly, good chance.
Oh no. Well, there will be one man feeling very pleased about all of this, because Jamie Rutherford is potentially still in it.
Yeah, he's still got a chance, which is all he needs. He's still got to make a good putt here, though. A little bit of break on this one from the left. Very solid.
Well done, young man. Entertaining stuff. We are going round again, back to the tee, and time to take a look at this playoff hole with John E. Morgan.
Well, here at the 15th, 177 yards, but a lovely hole nonetheless. Loads of trees wrapping around this baby, loads of thick rough, just in case you were offline or a bit too strong with your shot. But the key is hit the dance floor. 7-iron in hand. This one has to come in from left to right though. So I got this lovely, lovely, beautiful old house right behind the green. That chimney pot is bang on my line, and I'm going to try and drift it from left to right towards this tight pin that's tucked on the right-hand corner. Right, let's give it a go. hold up, hold up, hold up. Straight at the chimney pot. It's on the dance floor. It's about pin high. It's a lengthy putt, but the boys would take it.
I don't know, those fair weather golfers. Johnny Morgan then telling us about how this hole shapes up. This is the only break in the weather during the day so far, the only chance they've had to get this playoff done. And round we go again, same order. Now, can he stay out the sand? Yes, he can, and just try to edge it towards the pin.
Yeah, good shot there. He was always going to be slightly on the opposite side of the flag, I think, compared to his first shot. And it's actually nice, I think, when you get a playoff and you get a second chance to go back within a few minutes. You should have learnt quite a bit from your first approach shot.
Interesting day for these boys. Play was called at 9:25 this morning. It is now 3:30 in the afternoon, so they've been through the mill today. Oh, what a shot from Robert Shaw. I wonder if he thought that one was going in the hole. It was damn close.
The rain begins to come down again, and Billy Hemstock. It's nice to have a par 3 that is a middle iron, middle short iron. So often now on courses, par 3s are all 240 yards, and I think it's as dull as ditch water, that.
Yeah, I agree with you, absolutely. This gives us massive drama, and look at this from Robert Shaw. Ball on line, and he felt that might have a chance of a hole-in-one to win the tournament, but not the case, so on we go. And back to the putts. Rutherford then. Already got out of jail once today. Can he put a bit of pressure on now? No is the answer. Yeah, a little bit frustrated there, the young man.
Yeah, it was a super roll. You could see the ball rolling beautifully on the surface there, but just didn't quite have the pace.
This is where you perhaps get a little bit frustrated with yourself, because they now begin to know the line. They've putted this before, and is there that extra expectation?
Hemstock there just did not give that a go.
No, that was surprising. I mean, that's the one thing you want to do as a player. When you've got a chance, you at least want to get it to the hole for a chance.
Genuine opportunity then to win the title here for Robert Shaw after a fantastic tee shot. Oh, and again shaves the edge of the hole. They are getting so close to getting their hands on the trophy.
Yeah, I think he was very unlucky there. I mean, at one stage that ball was probably inside a couple of feet to the hole.
Yeah, absolutely. He had the crowd pleasing spin, but he didn't want that.
Hemstock then rolls it in to stay in it. They're going to know this 15th very, very well by the time they go back to the tee again. And is it going to be all three going back to the tee? Yes, it is. Wow. So, a bit of deja vu. And once again, Robert Shaw very, very close to taking the win. Third time lucky?
Hopefully for someone, yeah. I think the guys have... This is where, as Gary said, you can get frustrated. You've got to contain that, see your shot, and just knock it in there as best you can.
Oh, this is beautiful stuff, and he's getting better and better as this playoff goes on. That's certainly his best tee shot, and Rutherford in a good position as this rain really starting to team down now. Oh, let's hope there's no more twists and turns to this day. Robert Shaw, another very quick but smooth swing, and another very good result. Oh, well, if that had spun, that had a chance.
It did. It's interesting, his routine there, where he does that sort of backlift, rather a steep backlift, isn't it, as he prepares for the shot. So, Hemstock.
Another good solid swing there, good rhythm from Billy.
Oh, he likes it.
Straight over the flag.
Well, that is class from all three men. Now, let's just take a look at these different swings. We spoke about the speed of Robert Shaw on the right-hand side there.
Yeah, slightly bit more time at address, I think, and then makes up for it with the quicker tempo to reach the impact spot at the same time.
It's interesting, most swings for top players take around 2 seconds, and it doesn't vary very much, and some are a bit slower in the takeaway and then whip in quicker. as we watch Hemstock's trundling down, always just a bit on the low side there.
He's had 3 putts now, one of them for the title, and in all honesty, he hasn't really threatened the hole.
No, he'll be disappointed with those attempts.
It's that balance, isn't it, between do I attack, do I defend, do I go for it and perhaps risk a 3-putt? All those things going through your head.
And that one as well.
Slightly over borrowed it.
Yeah, not online, I'm afraid, for Rutherford. He's been through just about every emotion, I think, in this playoff so far.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some guys really wear their hearts on their sleeves. Other guys like Billy, you don't really know what's going on.
Back to Robert Shaw again, second putt to win the title.
Right lip.
No. Oh, I just seemed to come across that one.
Yeah, that wasn't his best stroke, was it?
Was a horrid yank, that.
The pressure telling on Robert Shaw for that putt, and you could see it. And once again, we go back to the tee. Will Rutherford join them? Yes, he will. Well, 3 men started this playoff, and it's going to be the 3 amigos heading back to go at it again for a 4th consecutive time. Who's going to win it? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Northumberland, and I'm joined now by Andrew Thresh, the General Manager here at Slaley Hall. Andrew, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Firstly, I'd like to start with how important it is to have an event like the EuroPro Tour here.
Do you know, Laura, it's really important to us. Slaley Hall has 2 great courses. People often talk about the hunting course. We deliberately chose the Priestman course to show how that would show itself to the public and the players, and it's gone down really well. So it's been fantastic, very important to us.
And a note on your green staff, because they've been working tirelessly to look after the course this week. Beautiful conditions the first couple of days. Unfortunately, today is not looking quite so beautiful. A word has got to go out to them, though.
Most definitely. They've been working hard for it for a number of weeks, preparing for it. We had a prep meeting last week, and they were all geared up for it. We saw the weather forecast start to turn against us this week, had a talk, we had a challenge about it, and they have more than delivered, so I'm very, very proud of them.
Andrew, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see how it pans out. But it's time now to hand you back over to the action with our commentary team.
Thanks, Laura. A touch of deja vu as we head back to the 15th tee for the 4th time of asking, and we've still got Jamie Rutherford, Billy Hemstock and Sam Robert Shaw in with a shout at this title.
At least the spectators were jolly and seeing some good golf. Rutherford now. What's he got to offer us this time?
Well, looks to be swinging smoother and smoother, and his tee shots are getting better and better, and that's another perler.
Robert Shaw, the familiar preset.
Oh no. Oh, trouble here. Oh, he's got away with it. Well, under the circumstances, he'll take that.
Yeah, I think he's obviously playing a club there which is right on his limit. Hemstock pretty controlled with his rhythm. Feels it might be a bit long.
Oh, again, fabulous. Side by side on the green, Hemstock and Rutherford.
I always think watching Billy Hemstock that he really ought to win all the time. You can't see anything wrong with what he does. It's a delight to watch.
Indeed. Now, with the putts we've seen on this green, you've got to feel this is a pretty tricky pin position in terms of the slope that's just around the cup.
Well, he gave it the room, but unfortunately he gave it a chase as well. No chance for the break there for Robert Shaw, who's probably putted the best of all so far in this playoff. Just nothing's dropped.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a couple of very good chances. Now
Rutherford to pressure Hemstock. Oh, he's done it. He's done it. We've got a birdie. And it's gone to Jamie Rutherford, the man who was in the bunker first time round.
Can I pick my marker up?
So this to effectively shut Robert Shaw out and go back to the tee. He's done it. He's only done it. So the playoff numbers reduce by 1. And we say cheerio to Sam Robertshaw as Jamie Rutherford and Billy Hemstock go back to the tee. It's been a long, long day, and I'm afraid it's going to be a bit of a journey back for the man who thought that he'd won this title. Oh, so close for Robert Shaw. Well, Desert Springs is the eventual destination and that ever-growing prize fund for the Tour Championships, but we've got lots of good golf to come before we get there. Moralton is your next opportunity to watch the EuroPro Tour players live in action, and you can see the kind of drama they deliver. Playoff hole 5 then. Round we go again. Rutherford v Hemstock.
Yeah, 3 became 2, and he'll be looking for another 2 to try and close this tournament out.
He's asking it to come back round. It's still good.
Yeah, it's still solid. He's put a little bit of pressure on Billy now that it's a head-to-head.
Yeah, this is back to your match play situation, Gary.
It certainly is. He's staring it down. I wonder if it's going to be good. Wide and not too handsome, but it's on the green pin high. But boy, that's some putt he's left himself there.
And there's the man then in pole position. And that first shot into the bunker is going to seem like a long time ago for Rutherford. Hemstock then. This is tricky.
It is tricky. Long putt here, slightly down the slope. He's got to get this in tight. Make sure he doesn't give the hole away. There's a little bit of meat left on that one.
Yes, there are putts that you won't fancy in playoff conditions, and that one certainly fits the bill. Now then, Rutherford can make all of that academic here. Hole this, and it'll be his first pro win. No, not yet, old son, and a little bit like the putt we saw from Robert Shaw earlier on. No real conviction about that one.
No, and I think with the door slightly ajar with Billy leaving himself a bit of work, he maybe, you know, wasn't as committed to making that putt as he would have liked to have been.
That's where I don't think it helps. All sorts of people play the course. In a situation like this, you can't play the course. You're playing your opponent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mind games then. Hemstock. Oh, no. It's caught up with him. Horseshoes out, and a rather forlorn look towards the crowd for Billy Hemstock as far as he's concerned. It's game over.
Yeah, the simplest of finishes here.
And there you go. Well, what a bizarre end to what has been a really fabulous playoff at the end of a very difficult day for the guys involved. And it's Jamie Rutherford that manages to take the win. A smiling Sam Robertshaw heads away from the hole as friends and family and fellow players come onto the green to congratulate the young man on his first win. Billy Hemstock's done it before on the EuroPro Tour, but now it's the turn of Jamie Rutherford. After a fabulous playoff, 3 men went into it, but only 1 man was ever going to come out with the win, and that man is Rutherford, the Break90 Championship title winner here at Slaley Hall. And he's talking to Laura.
Of marathon playoff, but yeah, it feels great now. Obviously first win out here, so yeah, really pleased. Felt like it was going to go on forever, really. I mean, it looked like we were just going to keep going and going, and it was a bit of a harsh horseshoe there for Billy, but yeah, I'm chuffed. Yeah.
First EuroPro mean, what does that mean to you?
I don't really know yet. I mean, I suppose just it just sort of shows that the work I've been putting in's getting there. I feel like it's been slow progress since I've turned pro, really, but it's starting to come together now. I'm starting to see sort of where I'm going, and the results are getting better and better each week. So to win's obviously really nice, even with a sort of reduced round, but still, yeah, I'm chuffed to win.
What a win for Jamie Rutherford, not just opening his pro account, but £10,000 to put in it. And that money has rocketed him up the race to Desert Springs by an incredible 56 places. Connor, King, Wright, Howard and Rye stay in the top 5, with Neil Fenwick's result this week pushing him up to a fabulous 6th. Well done, Jamie, receiving his trophy from Barry Gill of Break90 and Slaley Hall's Andrew Thresh.
Well, thanks for joining us for another week of superb action here in the EuroPro Tour, and congratulations to our winner, Jamie Rutherford. After a dramatic playoff, he snatches his first win on the EuroPro Tour. Make sure you join us next week when we'll be a few miles down the road in Newcastle at the stunning Close House. We'll see you then.